What's going on, everybody? After a long wait, welcome
I don't
back
even
to
know
the
how long
Juice.
again. 3 weeks. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's a fall, man. People are hunting. Nobody's really watching fishing podcasts.
That's right.
I mean, I guess there people are, but sorry guys. We've been a little MIA. We've been in Oklahoma for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Went
We
and did a
went
little
and pre-practice Grand Lake. That
mhm.
was not exciting, and then we got the blessed opportunity to go down to southern Oklahoma from there, that bordering Texas and Oklahoma Lake, called Texoma, and that was also not very fun. So yeah, a
Yeah.
grinder of a week. Oklahoma, I think I heard Gleason say, I think he said Oklahoma's where bass fishermen's dreams go to die.
Yeah, I think that's what I said actually, but yeah.
Okay, well, whoever said it
I
is
reciprocate
not far
the
off.
feeling from Gleason there that he's the one that said that. No, it's I kind of was getting bummed out. Everybody talking about fall fishing so great, fall fishing, blah blah blah. I was like, where?
Yeah.
Because it sucks down here. Like it's
Mhm.
still hot. Like our fall, like we literally just got our first cold front. I'm actually finally wearing something warm.
Mhm.
It was like 50 this morning. That's like our first real cold front. And here we are, what,
Mhm.
middle of October. It was
Yep.
96 both days in Texoma, which is on the Texas Oklahoma border. So
Yep.
that's hot, man. That's hot in October. That's not fall fishing. That's summertime fishing.
100%.
So
And I remember showing you, like, when I looked up the weather, it said record high temperatures. I'm assuming it means for that time of the year there,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I'm sure they're not used to the mid to high 90s, but we worked our tails off to catch 11 keepers in 2 days.
that's factual. I mean, it was a Bass Champs Championship on Lake Texoma. We ended up pulling off a top 10 finish, finishing seventh. We were actually in third after day one. There was a
Those
tie for
guys
the
are
lead. Had one of the biggest bags of the event at 15 and a quarter pounds.
monster bag.
Um, so yeah, bro, very, very tough event. I was telling Shane that looking back, I can't think of many other grinders like that other than maybe like a Red River tournament or something like that, where keeper bites were literally that difficult to come by. So
Yeah, it was a grind. And then
not very many 10 fish bags in that one.
no, I think there was 187 teams, and I think Chad said on stage there was 18 teams caught a limit both days out of 187 teams.
Yeah. And keep in
That's
mind
rough.
that not a lot, but several of these teams are the best that Texoma has to
Oh yeah,
offer.
Drew Sloan and
Very,
Nolan.
very good fishermen. I'm sure,
Yep,
of course, like guys
great
like,
list of them.
Jeff Reynolds wasn't in it, who's an
Yep,
absolute monster on Texoma, but there was Texoma monsters out there.
yep.
And it just wasn't a fall event, man. Couple factors that made it so tough. Lake was low. A lot of the rock transition stuff that looked beautiful. You get up there to the bank, there's nothing in the water. You go to the backs of the creeks where you might think some fall action is going to be going on. The bait had made it back there. The bass didn't. The white bass made it back there with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole other factor about Texoma. It's got a lot of stripers in it, a lot of hybrids, a lot of
Ton of
whites,
carp, ton of
a lot of
gar.
carp, a bunch of gar. It's a
There's like 11 bass apparently because that's all we caught. It was it was tough, man. That was one of the tougher tournaments. It could have gone either way for us. Honestly, we would have been
yeah.
surprised if we zeroed both days. Like there were some really, really good teams that didn't catch but a couple fish each day. So we were happy to leave there and got the Skeeter bonus money, man.
Yeah. Pays to run the right boat brands in the right events. Me and Shane have
In the
been
right events.
extremely blessed this year to be running me having a bass cat with the belts, hitting them for a bunch of incentive money, winning a
Mhm.
boat because of that, and then Shane running a Skeeter. Uh, we got the $10,000 incentive twice this year on the
Yep.
two bass champs that we fished. So it pays to pay attention and run the right boat brand for what you're fishing, 100%. And
Yep.
Shane, also running all Garmin, has gotten us that bonus a couple times as well. So
Yeah, we got plenty of those little Garmin winner checks, those little Happy Gilmore miniature Garmin checks, whatever.
yep, yep. Just pays to pay attention. Like if you're
Yeah,
fishing a
pay
bunch of
attention to tendencies on the
Toyotas,
trails you guys are fishing, no
yeah,
matter what it
paying
is.
fishing a bunch of Toyotas, Invitationals, whatever you're fishing. Phoenix pays in those. So it's just it's something to pay attention to and earn some extra money that really you deserve if you're buying a brand new boat or you have a 1 to 3 year old rig. So Yeah, pays to pay attention. And yeah, not to go too much further in that event, but really all we had was a pretty simple 1-2 punch. We had the mornings we would go chase the wind, look for smallmouth and spotted bass that were mixed together. And after that, we would put our head down in some offshore brush that we spent a lot of time idling and finding. Had
About the only
actually
thing off the bank that had any water on it. So
yep. And actually, what was weird is we had a better start on the second day, and we had I remember telling Shane bro, we got 5.5 hours to go pop 2 fish. I think we had 3 that morning. We had all that time to pop 2 decent fish out of piles, and I felt really good about it. I think we both did, and it just did not happen. It just did not happen. So that's
tough
it, though.
event. Happy to leave there with what we did, and good way to end out the team season. We got one more tournament, the Bass Nation National Championship. That's an individual event, but that's in
Few
2
weeks.
weeks.
Yep. Few weeks.
2 weeks on Grand.
Yep. Top
So,
3 in that one go to the Bassmaster Classic. So that's what we're hopefully there to do. And,
swinging for the fences on that one, but
that's it, bro. But
man,
today we got a freaking
a real hammer.
A real hammer, not us.
Not some local pond guys.
Yeah, not some wannabes. This guy is Emil Wagner, won the All-American, just made the Elite Series. We're going to talk about all those things shortly.
Let's just bring him in from the green room. Emil.
There he is.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Man, that wall behind you, you're gonna have to put some extra studs in there before too long, bro. You got
Dude,
I'm about to block my trophy wall out.
Yeah, I've got a little shelf a little further down. With
that's probably
it's that's all just baits and stuff. And I put that up there. I was like, that'll last a while. And then, dude, you start traveling around and buying stuff that you don't need, and I'm sure y'all are the same. I look over here, I've got freaking totes and boxes full of crap that I don't even use. But
yeah.
Oh well, it's part of the fun.
So is that the All-American check?
Yeah. It was 100, and then y'all were just talking about incentives. I think I got 20 from Phoenix, and then 20, and then I think I got some other little bonus stuff with it. Nothing crazy, but
nice.
Definitely has paid off to run that thing as far as MLF goes. But
yeah, man, the All-American is a very, very special tournament. I mean, that's a to me, you look back at some of the previous winners and just some really, really big names that won that event and went on to have extremely great careers.
Yeah.
What does that
Wheeler? There's been a lot of them.
Yeah. Nick LeBrun won it.
LeBrun. He won it more recently.
Yep. What does that remind me again? What I know it used to be the Live in the Dream package or something like that. If you won that, what is that? Was that still the same when you won it, or what?
No, I could be wrong, but I think the Living the Dream was the TBF National Championship.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the All-American's always just been $100,000, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
And then it got you into formerly the FLW Cup, and then
Yep. Got to fish Red Crest, which is what I was most excited about. And then I guess if you want to fish the invitationals, it qualifies you for that. You get automatic entry into the Toyota Championship, and
nice.
It's really cool. I mean, it helped me out a lot too. I mean, sponsor wise, it helped get a few phone calls to go through, and dude, I couldn't believe it. They don't announce it till later in the season, so you really don't know what you're chasing, other than you're just trying to get to the All-American. Yeah. And it ended up being, they announced it, at least when I made it, they announced it right before the regional championships, which is where you have to top 6 or whatever to get there. And they said it was on Hartwell, and that's probably my favorite tournament lake in the country. And I was like, holy crap. Now it was there was that much more pressure at the tournaments. But luckily I was fishing 2 regional championships, so I had 2 shots at it, and ended up making it in the first one and the second one, which was not expected. But they were also, the regionals were on Murray and Smith, 2 of my other favorite lakes, and then the All-American was on Hartwell. So I got a little lucky like that too. But dude, it was last year was so
you're
fun.
A spotted bass hand, huh?
Yeah, dude, spotted bass are my favorite. I feel like that's one thing I guide on Lanier. I just got done with a trip, and I fish for them. I mean, year round. When I'm home, I'm guiding, and even when I'm not guiding, I'm usually out there fun fishing or fishing a local tournament. But herring fish, it's really you could take spotted bass out of the equation. It's more just herring fishing,
Okay.
which is I feel like that's my specialty, whatever you want to call it. But
It's your
it's definitely
wheelhouse.
taught me a lot. I love it.
Wow,
Nice.
that's yeah, herring fisher can be very difficult, especially
Yeah,
for
no.
guys like us that don't have a lot of experience with it. They can
Dude,
be
extremely,
challenging.
yeah. It's like a whole different, like everything you know about fishing, you almost have to throw out of the window. Like it's totally its own beast. Like you can pull up to a whatever point, brush pile flat, and there'll be 200 of them. And it's like anywhere else, you're like, oh, I'm going to camp out here all day. There, it's like 1, 2, 3 casts. You get them fired up. If they bite it, cool. If not, on to the next. But
Wow.
it's really fun. It's I think more than anything, it's taught me to stay in high percentage areas everywhere I go, like all day. And it works almost everywhere, at least not the techniques, but just the way I fish around here.
Sure.
Except for if you go to like Florida or like we just got done with Mississippi River a little bit a while ago. That was an exception. Anywhere you're fishing grass, but dude, it's fishing around here has helped me a lot on the road. That's for sure.
Nice.
Clearly, because your stats are kind of insane, dude. Your stats are
Are
ridiculous.
Are you from there? I mean, were you born and raised there around that area?
No, I was born in Denmark, believe it or not, in Europe,
Oh,
hence the name. And I
Yeah.
moved over here when I was a year old. My whole family lives in Denmark, and I had no clue how I got into bass fishing, dude. I've been doing it ever since I was little. My dad just said I'd walk down to the pond when I was like could barely walk, and it's just literally all I've done. Like my dad doesn't fish, nobody in my family fishes. I've always loved it.
So when did you move here from Denmark?
When I was, I think, right at 2 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've lived here most of my life, but
Gotcha.
we used to go back every year, and like I said, my whole family lives there outside of my parents and my siblings. But yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
I did not know that. That's really cool. That's
But
really
then
cool.
I've lived in Marietta my whole life, which is
Do you speak
like 40.
Danish?
Yeah, I speak it fluently.
Dang.
Wow. And you learned that from basically growing up in the States your entire life.
Yeah, well, so it's kind of funny. I got held back in kindergarten because my parents only taught me Danish, and they were like, "You'll figure out the rest on your own." So like, I went into kindergarten and didn't even know how to speak to people. But
well, I mean, that's the time to learn multiple languages when you're young. So
right, and it's like if you live somewhere, like you're gonna figure it out. So I'm happy they did what they did there. But
that's so cool.
I didn't know that, dude. That's a really cool fact. Do they have bass in Denmark? Probably too cold, huh?
None, zero. You got to go to Southern Europe for bass. I mean, I know they have that. They're having that like world championship over in Italy right now. And
yeah, I know Italy. They're all ate up with it.
Yep. They got some in like Portugal and stuff, Spain maybe, but no, there's Denmark. You got pike, perch, cold water fish. That's about it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. I did not know that. That's really cool, bro.
Yeah.
Really cool.
You should have.
I don't know how the heck I ended up doing this, but
yeah. I would have them change that on like your thing instead of Georgia, say Denmark. People be like, what?
Yeah, I know. I thought it, but like, dude, I can't. Like, I'm not going to be like the Carl Joachimson that's like holding up a Danish flag because I don't know. I don't really.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Whatever.
I get it. Do you have?
If I lived there my whole thing, or like if I lived there my whole life, that'd be one thing. But like, I don't know.
Do you have any citizenship over there? Do you have like dual citizenship?
Yeah, actually, I wasn't even a citizen of the U.S. till I was 17, I think, because Denmark didn't allow dual citizenship. And I had my citizenship from there, and my parents didn't want me to lose it. And then once they were pretty much waiting on them to allow it. And then once they allowed dual citizenship, I got that. And now I have both. So I can go back whenever I want.
I mean, so technically you could, dude, fly that Danish flag, whatever.
Yeah. I'm all right.
Probably pick up some sponsors from over there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you never know. May have to approach some stuff. You know, they got to grow their international program.
Yeah, that's it.
It's funny though. I've met a couple Danish people in the industry. Like at ICAST, I'm with Pure Fishing, and there were some guys who worked for them that were from over there. They have like 2 Danish employees, and I was like speaking to them in Danish, and like Brad and all the US guys were like tripping out. They were like, "What the heck is this?" But it's pretty funny.
No, that's super cool. But no, man, back to your stats. So I was looking, looks like you were pretty heavy in the MLF game. Obviously, you know, BFLs, Toyotas kind of around where you were. And then you hit the All-American, you go to Red Crest. So what, this is always an interesting topic, right? What shifted you from MLF to Bass?
Yeah, man. Dude, I don't know. Yet last year was just a good year. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, everything just went right everywhere I went. And it was a tough call because at the end of the year, I was like, it was right after the Toyota Championship. I'd got second there. I'd won the All-American, won a BFL, top 10, a bunch of stuff. And I was like, I had a bunch of money that I didn't expect to have. So I was like, I can go do what I want to do now. Like, I fished the BFLs and the Toyotas because it was all I could afford. And I honestly wasn't expecting to make any money my first year, just kind of go learn. And then, maybe go do Toyotas again, a division of the Opens, whatever, just learn and keep fishing. And then at the end of the year, I was like, well, next year it's either, I still wanted to fish some Toyotas, but I was like, it's either going to be invitationals or Opens. And, dude, I've just been watching the elites my whole life. And when I thought about the long-term play, I was like, the elites are just where I wanted to be. Like, no disrespect towards MLF whatsoever, but my thing is, like, when a guy wins a Bass Pro Tour event, like me and all my buddies, like, we just don't talk about it that much. And when a guy wins an elite event, it's like all we talk about. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's just what I grew up watching, dude. It's what I love to watch. And it's where I wanted to be long term. So I was like, I could go fish MLF again, try to make some more money. But I was like, at the end of the day, this is what I want to do as a career. And I was like, I might as well go ahead and try to make the elites while I'm young and have a shot at it and could maybe build a career over there or, so I gave it a shot, and I was very well aware of the fact that it might be 3 or 4 years deep and I'm still not on there. I mean, there's some incredible fishermen that have been doing the Opens for several years and haven't made it. So it was a gamble, dude. Like, it was tough leaving MLF because I got to, especially all the camera guys like Jody and Kobe, and then like Mark McWaw is like the coolest freaking tournament director too. And like, I loved all those guys, man. And I didn't want to leave. I wanted to do the Opens pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't do any crossover. I wanted to do last year or this year. I wanted to fish 6 Toyotas again, a bunch of BFLs, but it was impossible. I had a spreadsheet. I couldn't even make it work. Not one division where I could get to the championship without cutting through practice for an Open, which you cannot do if you're trying to get to the elite.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's too much practice, but yeah, you're right. You can't.
It's way too much. It's way too much. I hate it, but at the same time, if they give me 5 days, I'm taking 5 days.
Yeah,
so.
you're not. Yeah, because there are dudes out there that are taking 5 days. They're pre-practicing. They're going from lake to lake to lake. It's scary to compete against that, but no, they do a pretty darn good job of making sure you can't fish both. You got
I hate it. I wish we could all just get along.
Yeah, man.
This year was a prime example. I fished the first Toyota on Rayburn, get second, looking good for the rest of the year for the points race. Come out, Bass Nation National Championship that we done drove to Eufaula, Alabama to qualify for in the national qualifier. Now the Bass Nation National Championship, which is a shot to get to the Bassmaster Classic if you top 3 it. It's the exact same dates as the Toyota Series Championship. So I'm like, well, I'm done. Like, I gotta go. I've got to go take my chance, to go to the Bassmaster Classic. So it's like, dude, it's like they just. I don't know if it's intentional, but damn it, it seems like it. Like,
it's every year, so it's definitely intentional. That's my pick. But
which one are you gonna do?
Oh no, I dropped out of the Toyotas like as soon as we qualified.
I got you.
Yeah, as soon as we qualified for the national championship and they announced Grand Lake and the dates, and I saw it conflicted, I said, well, the way I look at it from a financial standpoint is I hit them pretty good for the first Toyota, and I'm done. So, I mean, it is what it is, So,
and I think for someone who just wants to get their feet wet in like big tournaments or make some money, I think MLF's the way to go. But from a career standpoint, I wanted to be with Bass.
Yeah, it's a great decision.
100% agree with that.
Yeah, it's a great decision.
I think the split told the whole story itself. If you can lose your entire freaking field, I mean, everybody that meant anything to Bass, and that's still the most popular after that. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like that just kind of speaks for itself,
Yeah, man, they got the brand going on. They got the, little nostalgia. That's just the one that kind of carried the legacy as far as like traditional bass fishing
Right.
and the classic,
it's
man.
not that it's much better payout wise or anything like that. Heck, there's probably
Yeah.
more money opportunities at the Bass Pro Tour when you consider the team series, and
Yep.
they have a lot of sponsors that sponsor the league, that sponsor the anglers too. Like I think they do a
Sure.
pretty good job of tying their league sponsors into the anglers, which I'm sure Bass could do a better job at that. But it's like I said, I just I like fishing for 5 too. I think honestly, I think I do better in a total fish. I just like fishing for 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that, man. No,
And
I
weigh-in,
totally
man.
respect
I
that's
love
where you want
weigh-ins.
to be.
It's like my favorite part of the whole tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would have been something as simple as if they would have just kept the FLW name, kept the Forest Wood Cup, and it'd be a totally different situation. I mean, such a
100%.
simple thing, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. It is what it
Yeah.
is. So
We're far
I
gone.
agree with the decision, and now especially you just made the Bassmaster Elite Series, so it's
Yeah, it
like,
didn't take
hell
you very
yeah, it's a
long,
great
brother.
decision.
9
Yeah.
tournaments, one and done.
Dude, I did not expect it, especially not after our third event. Started off hot at Okeechobee. I think I got 11th there, and then the next one at Ouachita, I got like 23rd, and
Yeah.
then or 24th, I think, and then Santee Cooper hit, and I pretty much finished dead last. I got 189th, Forest tournament of my
Wow.
life, first year in the opens, and I'm like, what the hell is
Were
going
you
on?
like panic mode at that point? Like, well,
Dude,
it's over.
it wasn't even panic mode. It was just like sad. I was like, holy crap. Like I just screwed my whole year at one shot. And like I had some buddies, like all my buddies I talked about to it too. And I was like, don't even BS about it. I was like, that was terrible. Don't try to make me feel good. And they all were like, dude, there's still a shot, but you're gonna have to like ball out the rest of the year. And I was like, I honestly after that one, I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna learn the rest of the year. And if I catch them, cool. Maybe we'll see at the end of the year if there's still a chance.
Well, you had a
And
really
then,
good bounce back.
Yeah, I had a
What
bounce
the-
back at Logan Martin. I got 4th in that one. And after Santee, I went from like 6th in the points to 45th. And which, I mean, that's not good, but I was like,
That's not that bad.
Yeah, with 6 events left, I was like, I guess it's possible. And then 4th at Logan, that brought me to 25th. And then I got 11th at Eufaula. No, 12th at Eufaula.
Mhm.
That brought me to 11th or 12th. I don't know. That brought me to 15th. And I was like, holy crap, there's actually a shot at this.
Yeah.
And then we went to St. Clair. I got 18th there. That brought me to 10th. And then Leech Lake, I top 10 that one. That got me in 7th. And then Mississippi River, I got 11th. That brought me all the way up to 4th. And then we were supposed to finish on Hartwell, which is my favorite lake in the country. So
Yeah, you were like, that one circled on the calendar.
I hit up one of my best friends. He was going to drop his boat off at my house for a loaner boat in case mine broke down. I had it laid out to where it was like impossible I wouldn't qualify. And then they switched it to Martin, which, I mean, it wasn't the end of the world. I was like, it's clear water, spotted bass. Like, I'll figure something out. But it definitely threw a little wrench in things. But dude, I did not expect to go on the run I did. It's just, y'all know how it is. I mean, you guys have had some crazy runs. It's just, you just show up and figure stuff out and catch them. It's just,
yeah,
you can't really explain it. When momentum's on your side, stuff just flows.
Powerful, dude.
In Mississippi River was the most unexpected freaking 11th in the world. I had 3. I went over and pre-fished, which I don't normally do. Found some incredible stuff in the bottom of pool 8 and the top of pool 9, schools of fish on sand drops. I was like, I like this. I like to fish offshore. Yeah. And they were dirt shallow, catching them on a top water. And I was like, okay, we're good for this one. That was the one I was most scared of. Show up for regular practice, typical Mississippi River. The water's like 2 foot difference. Every school I found was gone. So then I've wasted 2 freaking days of practice. Third day of practice was trash. I'm like, holy crap, don't screw this up. And I ended up finding some fish right in the Black River near takeoff and just freaking hunkered down in there. I burned 3 gallons of gas the whole tournament.
Oh, and
that's cool.
Stuff just works out sometimes. But
yeah, I almost think it's like a mindset. Like when you're on that roll, like it's like, I don't care where we're going or how tough it is or whatever the situation may be, I'm going to figure it out. And you keep that mindset all the way through, no matter how tough it gets. And It goes a long ways when you've got that mindset. A long ways.
Right. Trusting your instincts. Sounds like you're pretty good at that. Cause I mean, ditching pre-practice and, sometimes it's so hard. You get so like narrow minded and focused in on, well, it was so good when I was doing this. Maybe it'll happen again. And you just kind of like
100%. Or you're like, I'm going to go find other places that they're on doing this. And then eventually I was just like, dude, this ain't going to happen. And
let's go by takeoff and flip some docks and let's see what that's about.
And it's the weirdest little decisions throughout the year. Like Leech Lake, dude, going into that one, y'all look at that one on paper and it's like, oh man, they were smashing smallmouth. They were catching them. That was the sketchiest smallmouth bite on planet Earth, dude. I guarantee you could go talk to half the top 20 and most of the guys who had big smallmouth bags, I bet they caught max 6 or 7 keepers a day.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
Total grind. I mean, look at Dakota Ebear the second day had 1 fish. I mean, he's a stud, dude, and he committed to it all day. And that's anyway, where I was going with that was like I was running down or I was taking off that first morning and literally it was like turn left into I can't remember the name of the bay, but it was where I was catching all my largemouth, or go right and, have a set of balls and go for the smallmouth. And it was like last minute. And I hung a right and caught a limit in an hour. Like that just doesn't happen there. But
wow.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, you should lean into that, dude. Cause there's something, you got something there. And sometimes you don't even really understand why or how you were able to make that decision. Like you reflect on it in the back, like, why did I even do that? What drove me to 100%. Do that? But just trust it.
Kind of like what you're saying. It's like, and I'm sure y'all do this too, but like I make a conscious effort now too. Like if I'm running down the lake and see something I want to fish, even if it was never in my game plan, I just go fish it.
On Derby.
Otherwise, I think about it the next hole, and then I skip the next one because I didn't trust myself to fish that. It's just I try to just trust my instincts a lot more now and just not really worry about preconceived notions or anything like that.
Well, it's working. It's working for you.
That's like, to me, it's almost like, and I've talked about this before when we've had Dakota on and stuff. It's almost like that's the biggest bone in bass fishing, like that you could ever throw an up and coming angler or a younger guy who has these questions about, and it's so simple. It sounds so simple, but it's not. It's a very hard thing to do, to throw away something that you felt really good about, or you caught a big one doing, or it's so hard not to get locked in. It's so hard to do. But if you can fish free and open-minded and trust yourself, it goes so far, man. And it sounds like you've done a really good job with
either,
No, you cannot.
It's just usually something that comes with time, because like I look at some tournaments a few years back, I'm like, I could have done the same thing I did now. It's just you just don't trust. I don't know if it's that you don't trust yourself. You don't have the experience to just know that you just got to roll with what you're good at,
Yeah. A little overthinking for sure.
Yeah.
I think it comes with a few ass whoopings and lessons learned.
100%.
Like that's what I think. It's like, dude, I'm getting my ass kicked and I am doing the same thing over and over again. And that's literally the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result. Like I got to do something else here. And what you just said, like running down the lake, see something, like especially at certain times of the year, like, dude, it goes so far. It goes so far.
Yeah. And if you look at the guys at the elite level, whether it's BPT or whatever, and how they practice, and this is a topic that doesn't really get talked about enough as far as like how to practice efficiently. And everybody's different. Everybody's got their own little ways, but these guys, like take the elites, for example, they get 2 days of practice, 2.5 days of practice. They're not looking for necessarily the winning 4 days worth of fish or winning fish. They're looking for a bone to start the tournament with, and then build and build and build and build and build every day that goes on in the tournament. So, man, that's actually an interesting topic right there, as far as like how to
very interesting. Because really, when you're the strongest as an angler in an event, I feel like, I know at least our best events and my best events that I've had, like, you don't really have everything figured out in practice. No. You start to figure it out, and as you get dialed in the event, especially like obviously multiple day events, you are dangerous. Like, because you're you learn something this day, and now it's like you rolling it over, Yeah,
and that's like you look at the Toyotas last year, and I know a bunch of the Opens this year. 9 times out of 10, I climb every day. And it's because I don't want to figure out, just like you just said, I don't ever get super dialed in practice because that's when I have my worst tournaments. Like if I like call it a good brush pile, a little shallow deal you're getting bit on, whatever. I pretty much pull up, I get a bite, I see what I want to see, and I'm like, cool, I'm out. And then it's like you gather as much of that as you can. And then I want to figure out what I'm on day one of the tournament. Because if you figure out what you're on before the tournament, dude, it never works. I don't know what.
No, it never works
like,
out.
You try to do that thing where you're like, I'm going to start right here because this is where I had the most bites. And then I'm going to go 4 miles that way because I had the biggest bite over there. Dude, I end up a spun out mess by 10 o'clock. And I just run down the lake, see what everyone's doing, see what's open, and you just kind of roll with it.
Yeah. Obviously, it's situational, but for that is for the most part. That is just the case. If you've got something so dialed in before the tournament, you've probably already caught too many freaking fish. Like you
there's
probably already
exceptions
been
to the rule too, but it's like generally speaking.
Generally, yeah.
Unless you got big schools, you're going to go wind a big plug through.
Yeah.
Totally different deal. A TVA deal, that's its own little thing. There, you gotta freaking know where you're pulling up, and
you got to know your spots and do your homework for sure. But trust. But that's, man, I fished the opens not this year, but last year, fished all 9, and that was probably one of the most frustrating parts. Probably something that I let get in my head a little too much is how many fish other guys were catching. I was like, golly, man, if you would just leave that alone.
Dude, we talk about it every event this year. It's like you'd be around someone like on Leech, a good patch of boulders, and you're out there just scanning. I've got my hook rolled over if I do get a bite, and these guys are just wrenching in fish, and I'm like, like we got 5 days of practice, and it's, dude, by day 1 of an open, that lake is destroyed.
It's the bass know we're there. They're like, okay, they're here. There's 200 boats catching them, but man, you got to get your hero pick before the tournament. With a 6-pounder, I caught 3 of them just like it.
Here's what I could have did. Here's what I could have done.
Right, and it's like I get it. I'm sure some of the guys, half of it's probably a vacation to them, so they're just wanting to catch fish.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get it. 4.5 is too much. I think they're changing it next year to 3 days of practice or so, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, from what I've heard, don't quote me on that, but I think they're doing
there's all kinds,
3 days and an off day. So
yeah, we've been waiting on that schedule to drop. I don't know what in the hell we're waiting on, but
dude,
I think they're.
I'm not even getting into that. I agree. It's like it's damn near November. You got to let some guys figure out what they're going to fish.
Yeah, that makes it tough, man. That makes it tough on guys that are thinking about it. Even guys like us, it's like, well, how are we supposed to go? Hit up sponsors and people and say, hey, I'm
100%, and it's
just a month to do it.
Yeah, and you got to sign up for other tournaments. Like in Texas, you want to fish, you have to figure out what you can fish in Texas.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the last one we're waiting to put on our calendar to see what conflicts. But honestly, I think they're probably changing the schedule because Slick Johnson released it early. They're doing
it. So that's what I was about to. I don't know if you're joking or not, but I have a feeling so many guys know what it is now that.
Oh yeah.
But then again, unless they're coming out with a no info rule, I don't know why they would care if everyone knows the schedule. But
yeah, I don't. I mean, everyone's heard of the supposed schedule. I don't know about dates though, and I mean,
or the order even. I mean, I guess I've kind of heard an order, but
I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure. I thought they were going to announce it yesterday or today, and I'm sure they will by the end of this week. But who knows? At the end, honestly. But
are y'all thinking about doing them?
Man,
it's always an option for us for sure. Yeah, 100%.
The new format's pretty interesting. I like the new format over I mean, there's pros and cons of the new format. It really, if you do the math, it adds up to being more expensive. 19.5 by the time you fish the 4 and the 3. It's only 7 tournaments instead of 9, so you're not gone as long. So you could maintain a job. You could probably fish some other tournaments we could squeeze in. I don't like the EQs being all fall tournaments.
I don't either. And I'm saying that from a guy who loves a fall tournament, but it's not.
It's not what you're going to get to though. You're not, once you get to the elites, you're not going to fish a fall event.
No, you're not even exactly. You're not even going to fish a fall event, and then depending on where they put them, it's like, yeah, I didn't really understand the move. I'm happy that something for once got a bunch of positive press. It seemed like everyone was really happy about it, so I'm happy about it from that standpoint. But I personally really like the way they have it now, and that might be easy for me to say, but I feel like I feel like what would have been good is 7 tournaments, all 7.
Yeah.
If they're going to drop it down, but
I
I
can see
just
that.
I don't really understand the 3 tournaments to get their thing personally, because you slide in there in the top 50, which it's nothing to shake your head about at all, but it's not the hardest thing on earth. And then
No.
you could go have 3 good tournaments, and I'm sure if you take the 10 guys after that 3 EQs, I'm sure 5 or 6 would have still been the guys who would have made the top 10 in an all tournament format. But I think you're going to get some guys who wouldn't have made it through, the whole season, having to fish spawning, pre-spawn, post-spawn, everything events. And I really like the way they have it now, but I also get that it was tough on some people. Heck, it was tough on me. I didn't get to fish a bunch of stuff I wanted to fish, didn't get to guide as much. And I don't know. It's a tough one. Man.
It definitely, the all 9 definitely shows you who's the best that year. I mean, I really truly believe that is the way to find out who are the best guys that season. And it makes you elite ready. I mean, it's basically an elite series schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, is what it is. I see both sides of the coin there. I mean, I definitely see that, and I see them moving all 4. Kind of lets the working man have a shot at it. But like you said, the guys that are really serious about, going for the top 10, and they know they're probably going to make the top 50 in their respective division. But yeah, EQs in the fall is kind of weird.
Well, yeah, I think Bassmasters are just trying, and that this could change, and they're just trying, like, because the 3 EQs are going to be, no co's, higher entry, which means higher payout. I've heard some rumors that the payout's going to be actually pretty stout. I don't know the real truth behind that, but
the same thing, yeah.
They're trying to maybe, the surveys that they send out to the opens anglers, you express your concerns about too long of practice. Okay, let's cut that to 3. You express your concerns about let's fish for some real money. Here you go. And I just from a financial standpoint, which is the way I pretty much look at all of this, like getting to that 3 and cutting the field size down to 100, or I guess if they let the elite guys in, I don't know how many will be there, but a smaller.
Probably a lot.
I mean, if you go from 100 to 150, that kind of defeats the whole freaking purpose, but whatever, of a smaller field size. But, like, let's say you get a smaller field size and you are fishing for a bigger pool of money. And I would assume, I don't know, but if they're going to have Bassmaster Live on the 3 EQs every day, now that's kind of like a professional circuit in itself. So I see what they're trying to do. I really do. Like, I see what they're trying to do.
And props to them for listening and adjusting stuff. I'm sure this isn't some random decision they made. Like, I'm sure they're trying to improve it for, everybody. But, and dude, if there's anything I've learned about fishing, you will never make everyone happy.
No.
There's so many. Like, they could come out with everything we ever asked for, and you'd still have a bunch of people on Facebook crying and about. I mean, that's just how it is. But
it's an individual sport, man. So everybody looks at it from an individual standpoint. What best benefits me? And when you have that, you're never gonna make anybody happy, So
exactly. And it's like you said, it's tough looking at the opens financially. But if there's more money in the pot and you're fishing for more money, that's what I'm all about. It's like, that's why, like, last year I only did the Toyota. Like, I looked at it as just like, what can I fish and potentially make the most money? And that's how I've, done all the BFL and Toyota and anything MLF I've fished. I was like, I want to get as many regionals, have as many shots as a bonus money as I can. And it's one of the reasons the opens are tough, because I mean, I pretty much this year was like, well, you're going to make no money, but I know that up front.
You did pretty good, man. You did pretty
good. Yeah,
you
did well. And that's all that we just talked about brings us back to where we live and why it's such a hard decision, right? Because we get to pay far less money to fish for pretty damn good money. You have to perform, you have to win or finish very well, but at the end of the day,
top heavy payouts, but
it's profitability here, so yeah, it's well, really financially speaking in the fishing world, it's hard to pretty much do it anyways, but there's
Dude,
several
y'all have one of
guys.
the best states to do it in. I'm jealous. I would love to. I don't see myself ever moving that far away, but I would kill to have that cool of a local scene. I mean, and I love, dude. We have an incredible local tournament scene here, but there's just not tournaments to get anyone fired up. You know what I mean? It's just we get
What's the
some local
biggest team
tournaments.
tournament you can win over there?
Dude, we have a skeeter trail, but that one you have to fish. It's like one a year on Lanier. It's kind of like some whatever, but dude, our local tournaments, fall, winter, and early spring, it's nothing. Like literally nothing, because we have 300 boats that could fish, but nobody shows up because it's the same 4 or 5 guys that win every time. So it ends up being like 60 boats, a couple grand, but I don't care. I just fish them because it's fun. But
Yeah.
no, we don't have it, dude. I feel like y'all have something every freaking week where you can go win a freaking Phoenix or a Garmin bonus check and 10 grand.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's a madhouse, and it brings a lot of drama in itself, as you can probably expect.
I could. I feel like I've heard
But-
about that on a lot of different podcasts and whatnot. I listen to Todd Castleman and stuff a lot, and it seems like there's a fair drama over there.
Yeah. Todd's a great example because he's one of the very, very few who's actually made a living at a regional level.
And has had the option to fish. He's qualified for the elites. He's qualified for the tour. He could go wherever he really wanted to, and he's like, I'm staying right here.
Yep, and he's done really well. Done very well doing that. But yeah, man. I guess looking into the elites, bro.
Hold on, I want to hear about the AFCO boot camp thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From the opens. I mean, how was that? I mean, I don't know how that worked. Like, you had to film yourself and turn in the footage. Did they edit it for you? I kind of want to hear about all that.
Yeah. So obviously they were doing it again. I'd already heard about it.
Yeah.
And it was like a video submission. I guess they wanted to see just what kind of video you'd make and like if you could edit and stuff. So I had submitted I think it was damn near an hour-long video of just go like showing stuff I'd edited before, trophies, talking about tournaments, yada yada yada, and ended up winning the boot camp through that submission. And pretty much they pay you to fish or they pay for your entries to fish all 9 opens, and in return you create a video series for their YouTube channel, and it's actually all on you, which was a surprise to me. Not a complaint, but just a surprise. And so I filmed it all myself, edited all myself, and I'm not gonna act like it's top tier freaking quality, but I did the best I could.
Sure.
And dude, I could not be more appreciative of them. It looks like y'all have them as a sponsor too, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
Yeah, dude, those guys are awesome. And it was cool for me because I had so much footage and pictures. Like, I've been wearing AFCO my whole life, which I think helped a lot. So I had so much pictures, videos, and stuff showing that I've been using it for forever. And man, I've just been filming a little bit of practice, usually not too much practice, and then just 24/7 running a GoPro, doing some recap stuff after. And if anyone wants to check it out, it's just on their AFCO Fishing YouTube channel. I've got 2 of them ready to rip. I honestly don't know what they're waiting on, but they have them. But I'm sure they'll be up soon.
A little bit.
Yeah, I've actually watched a few of them. That is such a badass program that AFCO does, bro. Because they did Matt Pangrake did it.
Yep.
And I remember, I think he did a division of the Opens and a division of the Toyotas or something like that. Because I remember he fished one on Rayburn and he was like flipping bushes in it or something. But I remember that, and that was at the time where I just got involved with AFCO. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so cool they do that. And they got away from it and it came back. And I saw that you had won it, and I'm like, oh yeah, bro, they don't know. Like, this dude's about to show these guys like they picked the right person.
I'm glad they picked you, because I'm sure they're getting some pretty serious return off their investment here. And so now they're like, hey, let's do this again.
Maybe, I hope they do it again. It's so cool seeing a company put some sponsor dollars towards an angler and not like a tournament organization. Because dude, that meant the freaking world to me, because I was already going into the Opens just financially prepared to not make anything, and that's just a bunch of stress off your shoulders. I was actually able to cover almost everything expense wise this year, and I was like, wow, can actually make a little money.
That's
Not
awesome.
really make money, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, well, you got
you have
some kind of money to
yeah.
profit
Yeah.
show for.
However
I mean,
you
I
just
wanna
the
mean,
entry fees alone is huge, man. That's a
huge.
huge bonus to have that
Massive.
covered. But nah, man, that's super cool. They did that, and just like you said, not giving it to the obvious ROI, right? Because sponsorship dollars is
Right.
all about return on investment. That's
Yep.
not necessarily an obvious return, right? They're going to pick somebody based off these submissions from obviously fans of their brands and guys that are trying to make it. So they got to make the best decision they can, if hopefully, and at least they're kind of giving back to a group of guys that's going through the freaking gauntlet
Yeah.
to try to make it. So that's super cool.
AFCO
No,
does
we
a good
actually
job of overall, though, dude. They do a lot, man.
Yeah.
They
They really
really. I can't think of another clothing brand that does what they do with the bank bag program, with the release boat, with
they give back
with
a lot.
that.
For sure.
They do a lot, man. They grew their brand very fast and made a big name in this industry because of it. They're very good people,
Well,
Yeah, and
maybe
I'm
if they do it again next year, Wyatt, you and I we'll go 2 for 1 because we're gonna travel together. Obviously, we'll do the
yeah,
AFCO
get a double
house.
bass boot camp going.
Yeah, we'll do the AFCO house.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm super grateful for it.
So they're gonna roll on with you next year? Have you had those
So, I
conversations?
mean,
You're allowed to tell?
Both, I'm pretty sure, but that's actually one of the ones I'm waiting to hear back from. I mean, I've heard back from them, but we haven't, figured anything out yet. But I sure hope so. I mean, I'd love to stay with them for the entirety of my career. I love their clothes
Absolutely.
and I love the people that work there. So I
Yeah.
sure hope so. But
I'm
it's
sure
literally, yeah, I hope
that
so. But it's heck,
yeah.
dude, the season ended like 5 days ago. So I've been trying to get ahead of it because we it's kind of tough because the opens end when so many of these companies have already
Set
done
their
their
budgets.
budgeting for the following year. So we're kind of left with the short end of the stick, honestly, with a lot of this stuff. But
Yeah.
I've been trying to get ahead of it, and I'm figuring some stuff out.
Do you feel like some doors have opened? I mean, I know it's only 5 days, but are you
Yeah.
kind of seeing the light here?
Yeah, a couple for sure. But the one I was fortunate enough this year to most of I guess the categories of sponsorship I already had in some way. Not that they were necessarily the biggest paying sponsors, but Pure Fishing was my title sponsor. So that covers rods, reels, line, and most tackles. So I mean that's a pretty big part of it.
Huge
And they're
Mhm.
staying on next year. I know that. And obviously I'm with Waterland. Are y'all with Waterland as well?
Why it is?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know Cooper and them. And but yeah, dude, I already had quite a few, so I'm really just trying to set up new contracts with them and hopefully improve them. But I should have one or two new ones as well. But it's definitely not. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. You don't make the Elite Series and your phone just starts ringing through. It starts ringing from your friends and family and everything. But
Yeah.
it's not just like freaking, Phoenix.
Dude,
And
I feel like EQ guys, like the guys that qualify, should all automatically get a GoFundMe page.
dude,
You know what I mean?
I could use one. I promise. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for guiding, guiding's how I make my money, and I just consider tournament fishing a bonus on top of it all. And obviously, it's been more than that, but I don't know. I just enjoy the process. I'm still learning a lot of this stuff myself, and
Well, it was. I noticed that Bassmaster paid each angler that was in the points Angler of the Year money. So
that was
that
really
was
cool.
something I didn't notice that they had done. So that was. I mean,
It's
Easton
like
Fothergill
150
freaking
grand.
yeah.
It's like
Easton Fothergill got like 50, and Nitro gave him 40, and I'm like, this dude done freaking. He's got like 100 G's walking out of this thing, dude.
Easton has broken the Opens profit record 100%. He won 2 of them, got a 50K Nitro bonus and a 45 for winning Angler of the Year. I mean, he's raked in for Open standards. But,
Dude, no, but gotta be by far the most money any Opens angler has
I
ever
want to
won.
look it up.
Has
sure.
to be. We had Easton on too, man. He's pretty fun. We like to. I feel like Easton's one of those guys I could just like kind of mess with all day and make laugh all day. Like he's a really cool dude.
He's a cool, calm, and collected cat. That's for sure.
So he's fished
Yeah.
10, and his career earnings are 181,000. That doesn't include the Nitro
That doesn't
bonus.
include some of the
Yeah,
bonus.
yeah.
That's just from Bass. Those are the checks that Bass has cut him. Those are not contingencies and bonuses.
I wonder if that is Angler of the Year is in that payout. I'm sure so.
Well, and his classic
cash
one's
bonus
probably in
45,000.
there.
Classic,
I don't know what that one was, but
Yeah, the 10 grand automatic from Classic's not gonna be in there.
Yeah. He's made some cash, bro. Like he's killed it. Yeah.
And y'all know as well as anyone, it's just about the hardest damn sport to make any money in. So if you made a couple $100 grand, dude, you've beyond killed it. So
you killed it. You killed it for sure, bro.
Yeah.
Well, where I was going before the boot camp deal was like the future, man. Obviously, we done talked about some sponsors and stuff like that, but like the elites, man, because the schedule's out. Just looking forward to that. Surely you've looked at that and looking forward to competing against probably some guys that you grew up watching, stuff of that nature. And how are you feeling, man? I know you're overjoyed, but how are you feeling right now? I know it's only been 5 days, but how's it feel, and what are you looking forward to next season?
Dude, more than I'm excited as heck. It's been such a stressful year, honestly. These are the most stressful tournaments I've fished by far. And when I finally it was all done and I made it, I was like, thank God. Now I can just not really chill for a minute, because I can't chill at all. I got to figure out everything before next year. But it's nice that I'm not chasing that tough of a goal anymore. Not that I'm going to work just as hard as I ever have.
Sure.
But I feel like I'm hoping that in the elites I can kind of settle in a little bit, because it's 100 boats. And if you just do your job and fish anything like you did in the opens, you're going to be fine points wise.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to just fishing without thinking about, holy crap, I got to catch a limit to get 40 points. Not that that's really how I fish anyway, but dude, I'm fired up. Is it my favorite schedule in the world? Probably not, but who cares? It'll be fun. Yeah, dude, getting to launch, I feel like it won't really set in until I get to launch, and Mercer's there and a bunch of people I've watched growing up are there. And I'm just excited to get to put my foot in the ring with some of the guys I've literally been watching since I was 10 years old.
Yeah. I mean, you look at that rookie class and what they did this year, and then you look at y'all's rookie class coming in, it's like, holy shit, man. It's about to get really
the
rough
veterans
over
are
there.
like, not again.
Yeah, man.
It's going to get rough on the Elite Series, brother, and it's going to be that way every year. It's going to get tougher and tougher.
I know, and it's funny because we talked about the all 9 thing, and you have some guys that obviously don't love how successful the rookies have been this year, and maybe next year, who knows? But a lot of that's been created from the all 9 platform too. You
100%.
get the guys who are just ready to freaking go. You don't get a guy who just, I had 3 good events in this.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Obviously a stud fisherman, but maybe not, someone who's just going to hop into the elites and start cashing a bunch of checks. But yeah, dude, people just work so hard at it now. Like people in their early 20s, whatever, 20, 30, whatever age you are. I feel like I would assume guys have to work 3 or 4 times as hard as, guys did back in the day, even though they were just as good a fisherman. Guys nowadays, I feel like they just work so freaking hard at it that, you get guys who are just ready to win anything at, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, even though you wouldn't have expected it. But that guy's been working his ass off for years before ever getting to the elites. So
100%.
It's
100%.
But
I think a lot of that comes from their grassroots programs too, like the high school, because of the high school fishing, the college fishing, and bro, these dudes are dogs. Like there's some high school kids out there that I'm like, damn. Like there's some dogs out there and they're coming, bro. They're coming. It's
like
not
they don't
going
do
anywhere.
anything else. Like we don't, at least from like some of these guys, they don't hunt during the fall. They don't do anything, bro. They go fish. That's it. Like, and that's, one thing I think that's helped me. I guide, dude. So I'm on the water every day. And I know, Shane, you're a guide, right?
Yeah, Wyatt and I both guide. Yep.
You're a guide too, Wyatt? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sure y'all can attest to this. I think that helps my fishing a lot because I'm just always in tune, even though it's on the same, couple lakes. Like I'm just always on the water, and I feel like I never get out there and I'm playing catch up. It's just another day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know what you mean. You feel, in place, if you will. Like, whereas if you've been off the water for a little while, you're kind of like, all right, let me get my bearings here.
Right.
What's going on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Regardless
Yep.
of the body of water you're on.
Yep.
What lakes y'all got on?
Rayburn, Toledo, mostly. Fork a little bit. And then Texas, we got so many small lakes around here that just have absolute freaks in them.
Yeah. Yeah. Rayburn probably our primary. Rayburn's the primary one, but it's really like that one's very difficult because we fish so many tournaments there. So you could see where that would get difficult there.
Oh, dude, I can relate. And my tournaments are nothing like y'all's, but I want to go win my Tuesday nighters. So I think about that stuff too.
We're not allowed to fish our Thursday nighters, bro.
Oh, dude, I already got, I've been down that road. There's some of them.
They're kicking you out already, huh?
Yeah, there was one trail. There was one I always wanted to fish, and they wouldn't let me fish that one this year or last year. But it's whatever.
Yeah.
I can fish most of them. It's not too big of a deal.
It does suck though, bro, because like growing up, like the Thursday night tournaments were like that was like what I look forward to every week.
Dude,
and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're like, "Yeah, if you guide, we got a year guide rule." I'm like, "What?" So I can't guide for a year?
Evening and night tournaments are my favorite thing on planet Earth. I swear, in the summer, last year I would fish 3 or 4 of those things a week, and there's a bunch on Allatoona, and that place sucks, but I don't care. It's a tournament. I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
And, dude, I would literally like stupid stuff. I would guide Monday morning. We fished the whole Monday night classic or Monday night team trail. Like guide Monday morning or all day, drive straight to the ramp on Allatoona, fish the Monday nighter, get home at 1 a.m., guide Tuesday morning, go fish the Tuesday nighter, and then guide Wednesday. I just didn't.
Sick.
It's just all, you know what I mean? Like I guess we're all addicted to it, but I know I am.
Yeah. Well, that's when you get good. Those times when, nobody's thinking about this dude that just qualified for the elites, that he was doing stuff like that. But those kids out there that you see jumping in every evening derb and jumping in every weekend derb and doing this and doing that, those are the guys that, whether they know it or not, because I was the same way when I was younger, like you're just doing it because you're having fun and you're addicted to it and it's something you love. But little do you realize, and everybody else is like, you're getting better every day. And
100
that's why these dudes are so dangerous,
Well, it's the same formula, whether it's team tournaments, whether it's opens, whether it's elites. It's time on the water.
Yeah.
Time on the water.
Well, it's
100%.
insane too. Like, I'm sure y'all can relate, but it's like at the end of every year, like I feel like at the beginning of the year, I'm like, damn, I know, I've learned a lot now. I know a lot now. I feel good. And then at the end of the year, you're like, holy shit, I knew nothing.
Yeah. We literally just had this conversation. We're like,
every year, bro.
Yeah.
It's every year. It's like, damn, bro. Like, imagine if we knew what we knew now.
Dude, I have.
How many tournaments will we have won? Like,
I figured out deals later this season, and I was like, "You freaking idiot! Why didn't you start doing that earlier?" And it's like,
oh yeah.
But guess what? The same thing's going to happen next year.
That's where when you kind of realize that's when it's like, all right, now I do want to go spend more time on the water. You know what I mean? That's when it's it is pretty crazy. That's so funny you said that, because we literally just had this conversation. I think we were talking about it in Oklahoma. We were in this little romantic cabin that Wyatt and I stayed in.
That was like a freaking. That was literally a stabbing cabin, bro. It was like the size of my living room.
It was pretty small. But we were talking about that. Like, man, imagine if we knew what we knew 2 years ago. Imagine if we knew that.
Dude, the funniest one for me was I fished college like 1 year really. And I fished all of college, but I don't know. I'd rather fish locally and whatever. And we did 1 year fishing all the college stuff. And we had the bass tour started on Toledo. We'd never been. And we top 10'd it off this one freaking spot. And they were like suspended and stuff. And we didn't have live scope. And we were just throwing out there catching them. And we got live scope like 5 events later. And we were like, holy shit. If we would have had it there, we would have blown that thing out of the water. And that's how Cody Huff ended up winning it. But dude, you have moments like that. Live scope being a crazy one, but even just little baits and techniques and whatnot where you're like, dang, I wish I would have picked that up earlier.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, we've learned so much, and that's something that's really cool about our sport actually is, and I've always said this, and I know it's just like never assume that you know everything there is to know about the sport, because there's so much more to learn.
100%. I think that's what keeps us going, honest, or at least what keeps me fired up.
Yeah.
Is just going to a new body of water and
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Don't think you got everything figured out, because the bass will show you otherwise.
Yeah.
Big time.
100%.
Even on your home lake.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Dude, we get humbled on the regular out here on Rayburn. It can happen to the best of us.
100%.
I can imagine. I might hop in a few of y'all's Toyotas this year. I already looked at which ones I could fish. I'm either going to fish the Northerns or y'all's, where it's 2 on Rayburn and 1 on Eufaula. So
you spend much time out here, like Rayburn, Toledo area?
Dude, no, I had 1 tournament on Toledo in college, and that's the closest I've been to Texas.
Man,
really? Never even put your boat in the water at Rayburn?
Nope.
Wow.
I've never had a tournament there. I did. No. Yeah.
It's got giants, but it's tough. These fish are educated, dude. These fish are educated.
Dude, I believe it. I feel like I would love it, and that's so easy to say. Y'all
no, you would.
But I feel like I would love it.
You'd do well here, man. I would encourage you, if you hadn't been to Texas, go to, unless you don't feel like you need to practice on some northern stuff. But Texas is its own animal, man. We kind of like you were saying that where you're from, you've learned so much and it's helped you travel. It's kind of the same way here. Like Rayburn changes every year. It's never the same. Like water
sometimes
level,
week to week.
The grass is good. The grass is gone. It's crazy. It's a crazy place. So we're fortunate enough to call it home.
Yeah, man. Trying to think of anything else I had for him, but I think we've covered.
I think we got it, dude. I think we're gonna have you back on after you win an Elite Series.
Yeah, you're gonna win. You're gonna go win Fork and beat Lee Livesey, and I'm just saying that because he's one of our buddies, and I hope it pisses him off. So,
dude, I say I'm just excited to fish them. That's obviously not true. I want to go win them, but
sure,
I'm looking forward to it, dude. It's going to be fun. We get to go to all kinds of weird places I've never been. Some I have.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
We're going to be watching for you, pulling for you, man. Watching, hoping your rookie class. You got a stout rookie class that you're in.
It's going to be a hard rookie of the year to win. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one, man, but just keep on that momentum,
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all having me on. I'll do it anytime. I can talk fishing for 4 hours. I'm sure y'all are the same way. So.
Oh yeah. Hey, we got a podcast, bro. That's what we're doing.
I want to start one. I already thought about doing it for next year. Like, I talked to a good buddy of mine. I think he's going to travel with me and film the tournaments, and I would love to do a podcast, bro. I can do it. I can talk fishing forever.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, man.
Sure. Yeah, well, we appreciate your time, dude.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. Good luck. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, guys.
See you.
Emil Wagner from Denmark.
I was thinking of a title while we were doing it. I was like, I think I'm going to call him like the Danish Duke.
Oh, that's hey, high class Bassmaster meme page. I cannot believe I forgot to bring this up to him. Did you see that post he made about Emil?
No.
He said, "How much ass is Emil Wagner getting?" And he took away the B from Bassmaster. He just put Assmaster.
The Danish Duke.
No, the Danish Assmaster, bro.
No.
Dang it! I can't believe I forgot to freaking bring that up. Dang it!
No, we got to think of a title for him.
Put who is Emil Wagner? The Danish Duke.
The Danish Duke of Bassmaster.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave the B though. Leave the B. Man, I'm tired after Oklahoma, dude. I'm going to the woods for 5 or 6 days. Going to Kansas, bow hunt, baby. Gonna go try to kill another giant.
Yep.
I need that recharge before Grand. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'm a little Oklahoma zapped the life out of me.
I finally caught up on a little bit of sleep, but I'll tell you what, that was woo.
I mean, we fished every day for 7 days in a row, which, I mean, that's not anything that we haven't done before. It's just like when it sucks, it's fun,
it's mental. It's right here. That's where it was tired. I mean, it was bad, bro.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But we got a big one coming up. We got to get our minds right. So I'll throw this one up tomorrow. It was a good episode, man. He was a good guest.
Yeah, Emil's awesome. No doubt.
Yeah, man. Freaking hammer. If you don't know who Emil Wagner is, look up his stats and you'll be like, oh, how in the world have I never heard of this dude? Like, he's freaking killing. And
all right, man.
All right.
Till next time.
Till next time.